glass tray shattered across the marble floor, and the entire restaurant froze. At that exact moment, I was about to sign a $40 million contract. But my hand stopped, because the woman cleaning the table in front of me was the wife who had betrayed me 9 months earlier. What I didn't know then was that she was carrying my child and secretly saving my life. My name is Lucas Bennett, and I'm from the United States. And this is the story of the biggest mistake I ever made and the sacrifice I almost never discovered. 9 months earlier, my life fell apart. My wife, Sofia Hartley, the woman I loved more than anything in the world, suddenly handed me divorce papers. I remember that moment clearly. She looked calm, almost cold. She told me she was tired of my endless work schedule. She said she had met someone else, a wealthy European businessman who could give her the luxurious life she deserved. Then she walked out of my life, just like that. No fight, no explanation. And I never heard from her again. The betrayal destroyed me, but instead of showing my pain, I did what I always did when life got hard. I worked day and night. Within months, I expanded my real estate empire and became one of the most powerful investors in the city. People admired my success. They called me unstoppable. But inside, I carried a quiet anger that never left me. Then came the night that changed everything. I was sitting in one of the most exclusive restaurants in the city. A $40 million property deal was sitting on the table in front of me. 3 executives were waiting for my signature. Everything in my life felt perfectly controlled until I looked up and saw her, Sofia, standing about 15 feet away. At first I thought I was imagining things, but it was really her. Only she looked completely different. She was wearing a cheap orange cleaning uniform. Her beautiful hair was tied back in a messy ponytail. Her face looked pale and exhausted. And then I noticed something that made my heart stop. Her stomach. She was clearly 8 months pregnant. My pen froze in my hand. The room seemed to spin around me. Slowly, I stood up. Every conversation in the restaurant faded as I walked toward her. "Sofia," I said. My voice sounded colder than I expected. She stepped back immediately. I could see panic in her eyes. Suddenly, a tray slipped from her hands. Glass shattered across the floor. I didn't even look down. I was staring straight at her. "Who is the father?" I asked. My voice echoed across the restaurant. Her hands started trembling. She covered her mouth like she was trying to stop herself from crying. For a moment, it looked like she might tell me the truth. But then something in her expression changed. "It's not your concern," she whispered. I laughed bitterly. "Really?" I said. 9 months ago, you left me for a rich European millionaire. And now I find you here, cleaning tables." Her voice shook when she answered. "He left me when he found out I was pregnant." Those words felt like a punch to my chest. I studied her face carefully. She looked tired, thin, almost fragile. But my pride was louder than my sympathy. So I said the cruelest thing that came to my mind. "I hope your minimum wage job is enough to support your pride." Then I turned around and walked away. What I didn't see was Sofia collapsing behind the restaurant in tears. At that moment, she had just protected me again. But the lie was destroying her. Back inside the restaurant, I tried to finish my dinner, but something felt wrong. My instincts kept telling me the story didn't make sense. So that night, I called my security chief, Victor Hale. Victor was a former intelligence officer. If anyone could uncover the truth, it was him. "Victor," I told him, "I want you to investigate Sofia. I want to know everything she has done over the past 9 months." At 4 in the morning, Victor walked into my office with a thick file. What he told me next changed my life forever. There was no European millionaire. Sofia had never left the city. Instead, she had sold everything she owned. Her car, her jewelry, even her wedding ring. She raised nearly $4 million. And that money had been secretly transferred to accounts belonging to 2 men. My former business partners. The same men I had exposed for fraud a year earlier. Victor then explained the rest. Those men had threatened Sofia. They told her I would be framed for crimes I didn't commit. They said I would be sent to prison and killed there unless she paid them and disappeared from my life forever. Suddenly, everything made sense. Sofia didn't betray me. She sacrificed everything. She allowed me to hate her. She chose to suffer alone just to protect me. And the baby she was carrying was my son. The file slipped from my hands. For the first time in years, I fell to my knees. While I was celebrating business victories, the woman I loved had been starving. That same night, I received another call. Sofia had been rushed to a public hospital. Extreme stress and exhaustion caused a dangerous pregnancy condition. Doctors said both she and the baby might not survive. I drove through the empty streets at nearly 100 miles per hour. I don't even remember the traffic lights. All I remember was praying I wouldn't be too late. When I arrived, doctors were already rushing Sofia into emergency surgery. I sat on the cold hospital floor outside outside the operating room. For the first time in my life, I felt completely powerless. Hours later, a doctor finally walked out. "Sofia survived," he said, "and your son is alive, but he's fighting for his life in the neonatal ICU." I broke down right there in the hallway. When Sofia woke up later, she tried to push me away again. She was still afraid the criminals might hurt me, but I held her hand and said something I will never forget. "I know the truth. You don't have to protect me anymore." Within days, those criminals were arrested. This time, justice finally caught up with them. But what mattered most to me was something else. I never left the hospital. I stayed beside Sofia and our son every single day. Months later, our baby finally came home healthy, and I made a promise to myself. I renovated the hospital wing that saved their lives, and the restaurant where I found Sofia was reopened under a new name, Sofia's Promise, a place where every worker would be treated with dignity and respect. Today, I often think about the lesson life taught me. Sometimes the people we believe betrayed us are actually the ones who sacrificed the most for us. Never judge someone's story by appearances, because true love often hides behind silent suffering. If my story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Moralist channel, where we share powerful stories about life, love, and the lessons that shape who we become. And remember, the greatest acts of love are often the ones no one sees.